Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. All right, so today you guys wanted to hear about the carb mistake that most women make after 40 that stalls fat loss. Now, there's two. One is thinking that carbs are the enemy and avoiding them altogether, and the other one is eating the wrong carbs because basically, there's two types of carbs. We got good carbs, bad carbs. The bad carbs gave all carbs a bad name. So we're going to get into that today. I'm going to tell you why they are essential. And so this should improve your mood because I know for a lot of women, we follow basically, the good girl diet rules. And those are the typical eliminating carbs, strictly counting calories, excessive cardio, intermittent fasting as long as you can. Like we think we're doing the right thing, like the good thing. So here's the thing. When we are going into perimenopause, it is a fact that our hormones are shifting. It's just a fact. And so with that, we have to say, okay, how can we work with this body? Weight loss in peri and menopause is not a willpower issue. It is a hormone issue. And a lot of times we think hormones, we think of, progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone and cortisol. Like those are the main ones that people think about. But the thing is, there's a lot going on behind the show and they affect everything else. And to simplify it in the best way possible, we are in a pro-inflammatory state. That's what the conditions that perimenopause causes. So what we want to do, instead of forcing weight loss with our good girl rules, like restricting overly, we want to enable an internal environment where weight loss becomes possible again. Because when we are cutting carbs, when we are counting calories, we are essentially pushing a border uphill. We are forcing something, and it doesn't work that way. And it's actually good news because it doesn't mean you need severe restriction. But today we're going to talk specifically about carbs and the carb mistake most women are making. So especially now we're going into the new year, a lot of women are making New Year's resolutions. I'm really going to stick to it this time. So a lot of women will resort to the go-to, which is cut carbs. And generally for two reasons. Number one reason is because when we cut carbs, you typically will get a quick win, right? Like you will typically lose a little bit of weight in the beginning. And so you think it works. It's worked for me before. It works for me every time. It's my go-to. Cutting carbs works. But here's the thing. It doesn't work. Because if it did work, you wouldn't have to keep doing it. That's why it doesn't work, because you can't stick to it, it's too strict, and you gain the weight back. So no, it doesn't work. Another reason we get a quick win from it is because carbs hold water. So when we initially go through that elimination of carbs, we're just losing water weight. So you get that quick win, and that's why you want to do it again, because you think that it works. So we've established, no, it doesn't work. But we need carbs. Now, the difference is, again, there's good carbs and bad carbs. What's the difference? The main difference is basically fiber. So when a carbohydrate has fiber, so, sweet potatoes, beans, vegetables, fruits, they have fiber. So that fiber slows the absorption of them into your system. So it's not giving you big blood sugar spikes, which we're more sensitive to at this age. Then the other carbs, white carbs, naked carbs, they basically have no fiber. Those are like your processed carbs. So those would be like, white bread, most crackers, things like that, like naked carbs. And the reason they're not great for weight loss is because they don't have fiber slowing them down. So they turn into glucose and they give you a really quick sugar spike, which makes insulin come in. It's a whole thing. So the main thing you want to look for with carbs is fiber, for several reasons. Now, number one, again, it slows down the absorption, but we need those carbs, those complex carbs, because they help our thyroid. The thyroid runs the show for our metabolism. And here women are out there eliminating carbs and you're just slowing down your thyroid and wondering why you can't lose weight, even though you're hungry and you feel deprived. So we need them. So we need them, number one, to support thyroid. And we need them because they have the fiber. That fiber feeds our gut microbiome. And the gut microbiome also runs the show, and most people overlook it. We want to get right to that. Gut microbiome is everything. Now, I want to also give you guys a hack today. Yeah, I'm going to give you a hack for carbs. Now, women are afraid of some of their favorite foods, pasta, potatoes, rice, because you think they're going to make you gain weight. I'm going to give you a little hack. When you understand food, it changes your life because you don't have to give everything up, and you can lose weight and maintain it and not be crazy. So one of those things is, let me give you an example. If we eat a potato. Potato does have fiber, but not a lot of fiber, or pasta or rice don't really have any fiber if you just get regular. So what you want to do is when you're home, so it only works when you're at home, but you want to cook your carb as normal. Now, if you were to eat it as is, basically carbs without fiber or without a lot of fiber quickly break down into glucose and spike your blood sugar, as we just mentioned. So that's not good for fat loss. So how do we eat the food without that effect? It is such a simple hack. It's going to change your life. Maybe not change your life, but it'll change something and make you happier. Cook your carbs as normal at home. Now, if you ate them, they would turn into glucose in your body. Instead, what you're going to do, instead of eating them right away, is you're going to stick them in the fridge. You're going to cool them for like 12 hours. Then, when you eat them after you cool them for 12 hours, you can eat them cold or you can reheat them. That part doesn't matter. But what you have just done by cooking and cooling is you have changed the chemical structure of that carb. So now you can eat it, but instead of eating it and it digesting into glucose and spiking your blood sugar, instead what happens is that heating and cooling phase has now changed it into a resistant starch. The difference is, number one, it takes longer to digest, so it's not going to spike your blood sugar as much. But that resistant starch is also going to feed your healthy gut bacteria, your gut microbiome. And as we mentioned, your gut microbiome runs the show. So I hate to break it to you because you've probably wasted years doing this stuff, but we've been told to do it all wrong. Like the diet industry has us doing counting calories and cutting carbs and all this crazy stuff. And it keeps you stuck in a cycle. So that keeps you a customer for life, and they know it. And so there is a better way to do it. It's just, instead of looking at how do I restrict from the outside, you want to look at how do I enable the environment to unlock fat loss from the inside. And it is 100% possible. And it's a lot more pleasant and a heck of a lot easier than white knuckling your way with willpower and counting your calories all day long. Like, who wants to track food everywhere they go? Like, that's ridiculous. This is for life, right? And that's another thing too, is you want to wrap your brain around it because you don't want to think you're on a plan or off a plan. That's how women lose weight and regain weight. You want to do things that make the most difference. Like, a lot of women waste time on things that don't even matter, and they can be starving. But instead, you just want to look at the things that are going to create the conditions to make fat loss possible again. And when you do it this way, you can eat plenty of amazing foods. You can and should eat carbs. You need them for your gut microbiome, you need them for your thyroid, and you need them for serotonin production and sleep. Now, serotonin is your mood. If you ever notice you went on a low-carb diet, you were probably pretty cranky because you need those carbs for your serotonin, which is like your happy chemical, and you also need it to help you with sleep. As we're in perimenopause and menopause, you may have already noticed we start having issues with sleep. If you're not getting any carbs, it's going to make it worse. We need carbs to have good sleep. Without good sleep, our hunger is not regulated the next day. Like, it's all tied together, but it starts by setting the proper internal conditions. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope that tip helps you with cooking the carbs and making them into a resistant starch. So it's not about you've got to have them. So first you've got to wrap your head around that. But when you have them strategically, so you don't want to have low carb, but you also don't want to have super high carb. You want to have the right carbs. And I know it sounds a little bit more complicated, but when you get the hang of it, it's not complicated. And it's easy to fit into your daily lifestyle once you do it a few times over and over. And do it properly and realize that you're actually losing weight. You're not scared of carbs anymore. So a little bit of it is wrapping your head around it as well. Anyway, I hope that helps you. Any questions, drop them below. If you want help with this, personalized help on how to create the internal conditions for yourself to make fat loss possible again, you can send me a private DM, send it with the word thrive, or you can visit my bio. I have several ways I can help you in my bio as well. Anyway, Happy New Year. Hope that helps you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.